Uh, okay, back to forgetting to put my mic on. Um, okay, I was watching a YouTube short from this lady who does comedy, and the topic was perimenopause. And some of the people in the comment were like, "Yeah, do more on this, and we need to talk about this." And there's not a lot of people talking about it, so obviously, ladies. So I thought, okay, yeah, I can talk about that, and talk about experiences, uh, and what the process was for me. Um, okay, so this is going to be a TMI girl talk video. So if you're a guy, heads up. Uh, if you continue to listen to this video, that's on you. Uh, because this is going to be, like I just said, girl talk, a lot of information, too much information for some people. Okay, so you've been fair warned, guys. So you don't have to continue to listen to this video unless you want to. I'm not gonna stop you. Obviously, I can't. So, so whatever you do, what do you want? Um, okay, so my symptoms that I had during the perimenopausal process and time frame, which probably lasted probably about 10 to 15 years, and that's normal and par for the course. Um, was definitely hot flashes, which was the first time in my life I'd actually felt hot. I've always been cold and always been someone at work, always needing a sweater. I'd drink hot tea, and everybody else was like, "Man, it's hot in here," and I'd be like, with my tea and my sweater and jacket, be like, "What, Susan? You're hot or you're cold?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm freezing." Um, so it actually was kind of nice to actually feel warm for once, but it was overly. I was having trouble sleeping, and at that time, my husband's body decided to under-regulate itself with heat, and he was getting cold feet and feeling really cold at night. And we have a waterbed, king size, soft sided waterbed, and he he was putting on a space heater to begin with, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you can't do that. It is freaking hot in here." And I was having trouble sleeping, and I was sleeping with just a sheet, and as little clothing as possible, um, to feel comfortable. Um, and oh, yeah, it was very hard. And so then he switched over to electric blanket, thinking, well, if I use an electric blanket, it'll just be on me. But we have a water bed, so it would heat the water. So it didn't really matter. Oh my gosh. And so, yeah, I was having trouble sleeping because I'd get just be hot, so hot all night long, tossing and turning. Um, so I actually, that was part of my decision to move out of the bedroom into the couch where it was cooler and I could sleep under the vent in the living room. Um, so, yes, the hot flashes. The PMS, that seemed to be like worse than it was before. And I had pretty bad PMSing when it comes to a bad attitude and being cranky. Yeah. And then the process started, and that escalated. And I was very, very agitated and irritable, and it just seemed to be worse. And then um, my cycle became very irregular. Um, one year it turned out to be, well, it was regular but irregular. Um, I had a always had a 30 to 35 day cycle, and this one year, back in probably, I think it was like 2014 or something, time frame, maybe a little bit earlier, 2012, maybe somewhere about then. I had one year that I started my period every 17th of the month for a whole year. Seriously, for a whole year, I started on the 17th of the month. That was like really weird. And I was talking to my sister about one time, and she was talking about how regular I was, and she goes, "Well, then that means actually you were irregular." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense." Because the number of days in the month vary throughout the year. So anyway, that was really weird. For one whole year, I started on the 17th of the month. Um, and then when I got in the crust, like in the quite stack dab in the middle of the perimenopause process, my periods became really irregular. Sometimes I'd go 2 weeks in between, sometimes 2 months. My periods were lasting um, weeks at a time. Um, the flow was happening, for weeks. One time I just basically lightly spotted for a whole month. Um, uh, the flow seemed to be even heavier than it was um, prior. Um, my normal cycle was always a 7 day um, flow period, and the first 3 days were the heaviest, and then I would taper off. Um, After that, now after our youngest son was born, uh, my first period after giving birth to him was a 3 day cycle, 3 day period. That was really nice, and I was like, "What?" That's kind of that. It was really nice because all my life I'd been used to 7 days. Um, so anyway, that's information. Like I said, this is a TMI commercial or commercial, um, video content, whatever. I guess I'm trying to say content, but video. It's a TMI content video, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So, the I've always had cramping. Some of those, I'm trying to remember if the cramping was worse during the per, perimenopausal process. I don't. Maybe yes. I think I had some like the cramps felt different. Um, they just made me feel weird, like I was actually sick, like there was something wrong with me and I should go to the doctor. Um, but it always stopped as soon as the flow stopped. The, that would go away. So I never went to the doctor about it Um, because everything that you read online that I was reading and talking to my doctors was like basically all this stuff is so normal, I guess, during that process. So so that was part of it. I'm trying to think what other details. Um, uh, I don't know. I can't think of anything else. What people talk about? What do ladies talk about? Um, I don't know. Yeah, it was just everything. I just never knew what my body was gonna do from month to month, how long things were gonna last. Uh, so that was very frustrating. And uh, and then there's just the this of it lasting so long. You think that I guess I never thought about it. My mother supposedly when she turned 40, she just stopped, and that was it. Okay, that's what I grew up with. So I never had anybody to gauge anything by, and all the other women in my life are already past that or never weren't in my life or died. Like her mother died when I was a month old, so I mean I never was able to talk to her about any of this stuff. So, I have two older sisters, but obviously they weren't. Well, I wasn't. I've been estranged from them off and on, so I really wasn't talking to them much during the process. So, I mean, I couldn't really, didn't have their input. Um, Now, fortunately, I did have coworkers, female coworkers that I was able to discuss things with, so that was helpful. Um, so, and then now, it's been about 4 years now since I've had a cycle. Yes, and it's very nice. I tell you that it is very very nice. I think I had um, one little maybe a couple years last year. So it's probably been like a year and a half ago now. I had not a cycle, but it kind of like for a couple of days or something. I kind of had some spotting or something. So I was like, oh great, is this gonna start up again? Because I have a coworker who said that when she stopped, like 2 years later, she woke up one morning and her bed was just covered. I mean, she was just like, her body all of a sudden decided 2 years after stopping that she was, hey, we're going to do this again one more time. And so I was like, so that I guess, happened to me like a year and a half ago. But it only lasted like a couple of days and it really wasn't that much. So I guess anything can happen. I guess that's par for the course for whoever. I mean, that's what they're saying, that every female body is different, and it's pretty much it's all normal. So I don't know, whatever. um. So like I said, it's been 4 years now. Um. I remember our youngest son was graduating from high school, and we went to his a graduation ceremony, and that was the last time that I've had a cycle. Um, and so that was back in 2021. So 21, 2, 3, 4. So actually, it's been like only 3.5 years. 3.5 years. So I guess it's only been like 3.5 years. But it's been really nice 3.5 years. Yes. I kept that industry for feminine products in business enough. I'm ready to let someone else do that for a change. Very, very nice. One thing I will share that I guess is abnormal for the post perimenopause and once you go through menopause, online I'm finding and reading comments and seeing videos on uh, once you've gone through the menopause that your vaginal lubricant tends to be reduced drastically, and a lot of women have to use lubricants or they get hormone treatments because I guess what they're saying is that during intimacy that it's painful because of the dryness, and that causes an issue when ladies are in have gone through menopause. Me, uh, I do not have that issue. In fact, I have the opposite. Um, and it can cause some issues. I am producing extra laundry. Um, so I don't know what that means because what I'm reading out there, most women are saying they have a problem with dryness. I don't. I. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say to them. Um. Now, what that does for intimacy, I don't know because I have not been intimate with my husband for 7 years. Uh, so I don't know. I don't know if I would be helped or not. I can't tell you. I wish I could give you that information, but I can't. Um, so anyway, um, um, all I'm doing is producing more laundry. That's all I'm doing. So anyway, I'm trying to think of any other symptoms, what other on this topic that would need to be discussed. Um, as usual, there's the comment section below that people can ask questions or make comments, or as always, I accept complaints too. Um, if you don't want to leave them publicly, I do have my email address on my homepage on YouTube. So if there's an if you want to be more private on asking your questions, um, feel free to use that. I mean, I'll answer best I can. Uh, I have had 3 pregnancies. We have 4 children, but I only have been pregnant 3 times because I have a 2-for-1 deal. We have twin daughters. So all of the births were vaginal. I did not have any C-sections. They're all vaginal births. I do know with my girls, our girls, I was huge. They each had their own sack, and I was huge. Now, they were born 9 weeks early, so I don't know how things would have happened had I gone full term. Now, I'm assuming that they would have just grew in the sack and I wouldn't have gotten much bigger than what I had. But I was very huge, and but anyway, I'm just mentioning now because that I guess affects things too. I guess I'm not sure. I'm just trying to give some, like I said, information regarding all that. Um, and maybe that has nothing to do with the menopausal process and the perimenopausal process. I don't know. Maybe it does. I don't know. I mean, you're still going to the same doctor for you're going to your gyno uh, for all that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm assuming it affects things, um, and I seem to with having those pregnancies and having the twins, my uterus was stretched pretty big, which never went down. I don't think. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not sure how much it went back. I mean, I obviously gained weight over the years and stuff, but some of that is not the uterus area. Um, um, wow. Okay, I'm just like I said, I'm just trying to think of some questions people might be asking, or something, some comments they might say. Um, Trying to remember things I've read or videos I've listened to. Um, I don't know. I can't think of anything else. I guess I can end this. Um, I don't know. I guess that's it. So, um, that's it, ladies, and any man who stuck around. um, that's the TMI on menopause and the perimenopause process, and that's my experience, and that's my perspective, I guess, too, and whatever. That's my comments and my 4 cents on the topic. So that's that. Um, Hope everything's going good for everyone. Um, and I'll probably do a different video on other stuff happening in my house. Um, Maybe tomorrow, I don't know. But I'm just taking one day at a time. And yeah, one day at a time. Sometimes 1 hour at a time, right? Okay, everybody be good. Don't do anything I want to do. Okay, that is funny, right? That's funny, right? It's funny. It's funny. Okay, whatever. It's funny. Whatever. Maybe it's not funny. I don't know. You don't have to laugh. I thought it was funny. Until the next video.